Hello students and welcome to a new video. In this video, we're going to review Unit 7 to 9. We're going to have like a quick summary of what you have to study for your midterm exam, talking about grammar, vocabulary, and expressions. Objectives. First, summarize the content reviewing Units 7, 8, and 9. And second, review a list of vocabulary and examples of these topics. Unit number 7, relationships. In grammar, we talked about relative clauses, and we had two types of relative clauses. Relative clauses as subject pronouns and relative clauses as object pronouns. So, remember that for the relative clauses, we need to use the relative pronouns. The relative pronouns are the same as the WH question words. Who, when, why, what, where. And here we have examples. Subject relative clauses. She is the girl who works with me. So notice here that who is the relative pronoun. After who we have a verb that is in singular because the subject is also in singular. And who refers to the previous noun, in this case girl, so that's why we use who. If we had a thing instead of a person, we had to use which or that. In object relative clauses, we are using the relative clauses to put information together and avoid repetition. So in this case, I have two sentences. I love the food, you cook food. We're going to put them together. And we're going to have a sentence like this. I love the food that you cook. Remember that that is optional. If you want, you can put it or not. I love the food you cook. It's also correct. So when we have all your relative clauses, notice that after the subject pronoun or in the place that the subject pronoun should be, we have after that a noun. When it's subject, after the pronoun, we have a verb. And also remember in the subject relative clauses, the pronoun is mandatory. In the object relative clauses, the pronoun is optional. Vocabulary. Here we had vocabulary about the circle of friends, like roommate, coworker, buddy, neighbor, and also the non-separable phrasal verbs. Remember that a phrasal verb is a verb plus a particle, and the particle changes the meaning of the verb. So here we have turn out, that means resultar, write back, that means contestar, like in a mail, write back an email. Grow up, that means crecer, talking about the development of a person from child to teenager and then adult. Hang out, it means to share time with your friends, maybe in a shopping center. Get along, it means llevarse bien. Go out, it means salir, but not salir de una habitación. It means to go out and have fun, maybe on a date or to a restaurant with your friends. Settle down, in Spanish, means como sentar cabeza. It means that you are ready to get married. Come back, means regresar. Go away, it means to go a very far place. It can be another city, another country. Fly back, it means that you come back, but on an airplane. And break up, that means terminar una relación. In this case, a love relationship. Expressions. Here we use expressions to soften your comments. So we can use words like I guess, I think, probably, maybe, kind of, sort of, just a little bit, in a way. Check the example. I think that my neighbor is a bit noisy. So in my case, I use to, I think, and a bit noisy. Unit number 8, what if? In grammar, in this unit, we work with wishes for the present and future. And here, what you need to remember is that after wish, we need to use the simple past. Example, I wish I had more free time. If we have the third person, something like she wishes, She had more free time. So in the first part of the sentence, you're going to conjugate the sentence in the present tense, and then after which you need to have simple past. We also talk about the second conditional. Remember that a condition has two parts. The condition starting with the word if, and the result or consequence after the condition. If I were you, I would buy a new house. Remember, if must have a verb in simple past. Remember that here we always use were. With the second conditional, we won't use was, only were. And then we have good plus the verb in infinitive. In this first example, we have the condition first and then the result, but we can also switch the position and we can have the result first and then the condition. Remember, in this case, we don't need the comma. When the condition is first, we need the comma. I would buy a new house if I were you. So I have highlighted in red the verbs that you need to identify. Condition with good, result with, condition with where, and result with good. If we change the position, result with good and condition with where, because we need to use the past tense. Vocabulary. In vocabulary, we have verbs plus prepositions. So here we have the verb worry about, buy for, apologize for, pay for, talk to someone, and you can also say talk about something. Say something to, thank for, share with, learn to, think about, remind about, forget about, agree with, apply for, explain to, forgive for, invite to, complain about, and blame for. So remember that each of these verbs use these prepositions in context according to what you want to say. And finally, the expressions that are associated with the second conditional. If I were you, I would, or the contraction I'd, and you might want to. And also would be plus adjective. Yeah? In this case, you can say if you could come, that would be awesome. So notice here we're using also the second conditional. Condition if with past, and result good plus the verb in infinitive. Unit number 9, Tech Savvy. This unit is related to technology. In grammar, the first topic was indirect statements. They were divided into questions within questions and questions within a statement. When we have questions within question, it means that we are going to have like a direct question, but also using expressions like do you know, can you tell me, do you have any idea? So we put the two sentences together and we have do you know where she lives? So remember, just the first part of the sentence is the question, using in this case the auxiliary verb, subject, and verb. And the second part becomes a normal sentence like subject, verb, and complement, and they are connected by the word where, the WH question word. Do you know where she lives? And we use lives because we're talking about the third person. This does becomes here an S. And questions within a statement, it can be the answer to these questions using expressions like I don't know where she lives. Remember here we also have subject, verb, and complement, and the two sentences are connected or linked by the word where. In grammar, we also talk about instructions using how to, and using also the separable phrasal verbs. So we have verbs like put it away, that means ordenar, hook it up, that is similar to plug in, that means conectar, look it up, it means buscar, pick it up, recoger, put it down, bajar algo, print it out, imprimir, put away. In this case, I got two times these verbs. put it away and put them away, because I want you to notice that if it is singular, we can use the pronoun it, and if it is plural, we use the pronoun they. Take them off, take it apart, throw it away, turn it down and turn it up. So, take them off, it means sacárselos, take it apart, desarmar, throw it away, tirar, turn it down, bajar, and turn it up, subir. These last two talking about sound, like turn up the TV, turn down the radio, hablando del volumen de algún dispositivo. Now, using how to plus the separable phrasal verbs, we're going to have something like, do you know how to turn this computer on? Or just, you can say, how do you turn this computer on? Vocabulary, technology, gadgets and electronic devices. For example, computer, power cord, battery, internet, website, drone, cell phone, smartwatch, smartphone, printer, and tablet. I know that you are very familiar with these words because we use the same words in English, in Spanish when it refers to technology. And in expressions, we are talking about how to give your opinion. You can use things like, I know what you mean, that's true, on the other hand, or I don't know. So the example says, I don't know what you're talking about. This is something very common on spoken English. So that's the summary about the first 3 units on the 6th level. My last advice for you is keep calm and good luck in your exam.